Good morning. So on this particular day, my boyfriend was lovely and made me a coffee in bed. So I had it quite weak with a dash of frothed up Oatly. And then I made breakfast, which was very simple, just porridge. I used half a cup of oats and some water, because I only had Oatly, which is relatively high FODMAP, and I obviously couldn't have all that liquid. But I added a dash of salt, which I heard is a thing, tell me if it's not, and just stirred that through, so it kind of makes its own oat milk. And then I added some of that protein, which is also low FODMAP and contains some cocoa, just to add a bit more flavour to the porridge. Once that was stirred through and cooked, I moved it over to a bowl, added a heaped tablespoon, so probably about 2 tablespoons worth of peanut butter, and a quarter of a cup of giant blueberries, which are frozen, and I kind of just mixed it all together and it melted and it was lovely, nice and filling. I also had vitamin D and B12, very important, and a Brazil nut for some selenium. For lunch, I had one of my favourite go-tos for a low FODMAP meal. I had some parboiled and then sautéed potatoes. Honestly, can't go wrong with potatoes, FODMAP free. And then I drizzled on about a teaspoon worth of tahini, added a little depth. And then in a pan, I'd heated up a cup worth of spinach, some common tomatoes, and a quarter of a cup of canned lentils, dash of olive oil, salt and pepper, can't go wrong. And then I had a FODMAP-free snack of frozen grapes, which are the best thing on a really hot day. They're so refreshing. Honestly, try it. And then later I was going to a picnic, so I made 2 portions of a pasta using the salsa verde recipe that you would have had if you signed up for my mailing list, would have been sent it. So for the salsa verde, I'm going to use some garlic infused olive oil, some big handfuls of parsley and basil, and then I've got some red wine vinegar. I've got a lemon that I need to use up, and then some mustard, and some capers. So I'm going to basically put all of this in there. So here's a little tip: if you put your food waste in the freezer, you never have any mouldy food in the place, and then it keeps it kind of not rotting and not smelly until you can put it in the bin outside. So I'm just going to add about a tablespoon of pine nuts to my cup of cooked buckwheat pasta that I've let cool. So it's 2 portions. And then I'm adding a quarter of a cup of rinsed canned lentils in each one for protein. And then I'm just trying to get as much of this into each of these as possible. I then spooned half of the salsa verde into each portion and popped some kale in the oven to make some crisps. And then forget about the kale because you're busy filming other things and burn it. So that was a good use of money and food. Okay, so take 2. And didn't forget. So I let it cool a bit, adding 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, and then took it with me to the picnic.
You're like, oh, not your dressing. You're like, yeah, like rotationary.
Extra points if you can guess which part this is in central London. I had that second portion of pasta a few hours later. It was a bit too dark to film. But I hope this was useful. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're all well. See you in the next one.